In the many-to-many relationship, we have to have a bridge table. Okay, so this is how you can implement it. And the reason why we need bridge table here is, one second. Just give me a second. And okay, what is many-to-many relationship? What is many-to-many relationship? We discussed, right? Give me an example for many-to-many relationship. How many of you remember many-to-many? Just give me a second. My system. Yeah, what is many-to-many relationship? When multiple records in a table are associated with multiple records in another table. That is what is called as what? Many-to-many relationship. Multiple records in a table are associated with multiple records in another table. Forget about this table at this moment. We have introduced this table because these two tables have many-to-many relationship. Okay, so to implement a many-to relationship, it is not a straightforward. There is no straightforward approach to implement a many-to-many relationship. You have to have a bridge table. It is also sometimes called as a link table. You need to have this table, without which you cannot implement the many-to-many relationship. Why I cannot implement many-to-many relationship? Because, for example, in this table I have a state column. Let us assume that this state and this state. So in this table, I have a common column by the name of state, and in this table also I have a common column by the name of state is available. Forget about city at this moment. Okay, so these two columns are common between these two tables. We can directly create the relationship. But if you create a relationship between these two tables using the common column state here, what will happen is this state column has duplicate records in this table as well as in this table. For example, if I click on it here, if I go to sales, what is this table name? Sales one. If I click on it, sales one here, if you see the state column, we have duplicate. CA is duplicated and WA also duplicated. Okay, and city data. What is the other table? City data also got duplicated. If you look here in the state column here also it is duplicated. If you have a duplicate values are there in the common column of the two tables which you use to join it, it will not do the filtering correctly. Okay, it will not do the filtering correctly. So hence what we are doing is we need an intermediary table or the link table or bridge table. This bridge table, I created it, right? I created it manually. How I created it? I simply copy pasted this table. Look here, I just went to the transform data, the Power Query editor. I just duplicated that query and then I removed all the duplicates. I'll just show you one more time to help you to refresh what we did in the last session. So this is my city data. Either you can use this table or you can use this table. So here I'm going to use states one, sales one, and I can duplicate this one. And here I need a common table. Okay, listen, I'm going to say link table. So here I'm going to use only the state column. The rest of the column I'm going to remove columns. In the state column, even in the state columns, I could see the bridge table or the link table, you are not supposed to have duplicate values. Hence, I'm going to remove the duplicate values here. How I remove the duplicate? Remove duplicates here. If you click on it here and remove duplicates, when you do this, it will remove the duplicate values. Now we can see that CA and TXWR exists only one time, and close and apply. Now my table is ready. Look here on the right side, you will find the link table, which I created just now. Some problem happened. 1 second. It got closed. It got crashed. 1 second. Let me open it one more time. Welcome back, Tulasi. 1 second. I'm yet to start my. I already opened my Power BI desktop. It got crashed. I just restarted it again. That's all. Nothing. See, I created bridge table. Okay, good. So we have one more bridge table. So let me expand this one. Here I have state column. Yeah, this table is there. Good. So what I am going to do is, let me do one thing. This is the, I'm going to rename this one as link table. State. Similarly, I copy pasted the city data table or sales table. And in this table, what I did, I just kept only the city column, the new table. Okay. And rest of the columns I removed it. I kept only the unique values in the city column. Okay. And here also I can create the relationship. For example, state and state, I can create the relationship between these two tables. Using the state column, I can do it. One to many, one to many. Okay, and here if I come here, I create a matrix here. And here I just go to the link table and I just simply copy paste, drag and drop the state. And the sales one, if I drag and drop the sales, and 140, 100 is coming here. And when I drag and drop the city here, okay, what I do is instead of this, I'll use it as a table. Okay, and city and population. Okay, 60, 80, 400, 150, 100, right? It is doing, is that doing good job? Let me just go back to my PowerPoint and I have asked you this one to the type of report that I needed. Yeah, this is the one. 60, 80, 400, 150, 100, 150, 100 and 0.904. It is doing fantastic job. State and state. So here, okay, now if I click somewhere in the empty place, both the tables got deselected. If I want to select this table, click on it. This table got selected. And if you see the columns that are used as part of this table, you can find it here, as well as you can find it under the fields column with the tick mark. Whatever the columns that you can find the tick mark, those columns only I used it here, right? Or you can find it here also. Okay. And in this case, what happened, for example, when I click on sales, this down arrow, some don't summarize is there. And here, okay, let me do one thing here. Let me see. 60, 80, 400, 100, 150, right? 100, 150, everything is good. And it's good. So here, in this case, if you keep the cursor link table, from the link table, I dragged and dropped the state here. And from the city data, city I dragged and dropped, and population also dragged and dropped. And the sales, in the sales one table, I dragged and dropped. Since I have created a link table, and I have this link table as unique values in the state column. So hence you can see the one on this side of this link table, and star, this is many you can find it on this side of the table. And also you can see the same thing here, one to many. So this table, link table, can filter sales one table, as well as the link table can filter the city data table. That is what we can see it here. Got it? Okay. And there is another way of doing is, the other way of doing is, instead of state, you can use city column. So when you have a unique value city in the bridge table, what happens is, this bridge table can filter sales one table as well as city data table. But here, if you see here, 1 to 1, so the 1 1 is there, 1 1 is there. Why it is 1 1? And when you click on the city data here, and if you see here, all these city values or names are unique. Can you see duplicates here? No. In the state, you can see duplicate, whereas you don't see any duplicate values here. And similarly, in sales one also, you don't see any duplicate values. That is the reason what happens. It creates one-to-one relationship, because here I have used the city column to create the relationship between these two tables. City column is the common column. I consider that as a common column. And now here the city column is the common column. Okay, so hence here city and city, I have used it to create the relationship between these two tables. But here the city, the bridge table has unique values in the city column, and also in both the tables we can see unique values in the city column. Hence it creates one-to-one relationship. But with this city column also, I'm able to. So now if I click on this one, and if you see here, the bridge table, okay, here it uses state, city, and sales one, right? Yeah. In this case, where is the bridge table? Yes, city. I can probably bring it here. You can also bring it from there. Okay, and here this is what my city column, and I'm going to remove this one. So both the outputs are same, right? But the columns are different. This is state. This is also, but here the city is coming from the bridge table, and sales and population. It's all same as this. And only difference is here the city column, I linked it with the sales one, city data and sales one. Okay, in the link table. In the link table, I have used, in the bridge table, I use city. So with the help of bridge table, I can filter city data as well as sales one. Even though I have many-to-many relationship, with the help of the bridge table, I'm able to filter it correctly. And similarly here, in this case, here the bridge table is link table, not this table. Okay, link table and state. I'll just click on this one now. Now you can see the link table is state. A link table state is filtering this one as well as this one. Now the question is, then why should I use these two tables? Just for you people to understand. But there is a subtle difference here. Here one-to-one relationship, but you can see the arrow here. It is bidirectional relationship. Here also the arrow is bidirectional relationship. Okay, bidirectional relationship. But whereas if you see the arrow here, the value state from the link table is getting propagated to this table, which means the state value is getting, based on the values in the state column, this table is getting filtered one after another. Similarly, the same thing is happening here. But here one-to-many relationship. For a single state, more than one value is there, right? So duplicate values are there in the state column. In the state column here, duplicate values are there, whereas here duplicate values. So for one state, more than one value is there. For CA, for example, California, CA, we can see more than one record. Okay. And similarly here, also the same thing, right? So we have duplicate for the state. So now in the interview, they'll ask you the question, why do you need to have a bridge table or link table? Without that, can't you create the relationship directly state and state here? You cannot directly create the relationship between the two tables if those two tables have more records in it. Okay, so that's why I use this term. Multiple rows in one table, or associated with multiple rows in other table is called table. So for example, in the state, we have duplicate values are there. In the state, here also in the state column, we have duplicate values are there. In that case, you cannot create the relationship between these two. Even if you are able to create it, it will not do the filtering correctly. Got it? So in order to overcome this issue, because we have duplicate values in state here, we have duplicate in state here, we cannot create the direct relationship between these two tables. Both the tables, state columns have duplicate values in it. It is as simple as that. Guys, are you able to get this point? This is very important. Since state in this table state, both of them have duplicate values. It cannot do the filtering correctly. That is the reason why you need a link table or a bridge table. Both the names are same. But in this case, for you people to understand, well, I created two different tables. Both of them serve as a bridge table or link table. But in real-time scenario, you don't need both these tables. Okay, either you can create only one table, but the simple common sense is make sure that if you are using a state column to link these two tables, right, via link table, this state column should have unique values in it. It should not have duplicate values. So one to many, it is doing perfect job. There is another scenario. Let's say, your manager says, no, don't use state and use city. Yeah, you can use city also, right? If you use city to link these two things, in this table also city is there, in this table also city is there. But in this table, city column have unique values. Similarly, in this city column also we have unique values. This is a different scenario, okay? And here also the same thing. Here we have unique values. Even here also we have unique values. That is the reason why it says 1 to 1. Here, for each city, there is, there exists a corresponding unique city name is available in this table. That's the reason 1 to 1. It is not 1 to many. And also bidirectional relationship, right? It automatically enables the bidirectional relationship. That means the bridge table can filter this sales one table as well as the sales one can filter in the opposite. Look here, in this case, the link table can filter sales one table because the arrow is going down this direction. Okay, and same, but you cannot use your sales one table to filter back your link table. Okay, because it is a unidirection, but here bidirection. So the arrow is, so you can use the bridge table to filter sales one, and sales one table can also filter bridge table. Guys, this is very important. If you understand this, nothing is there. Okay, in real-time scenario, they expect this much. Okay, and they want you to be very strong in this concept. And I just go back here. Fine. Next question is, okay, instead of having state is there, city is there, I need to have the combination of these two column, custom column I have created it. Sometimes what will happen, instead of having state and city separately, sometimes what will happen, I want to combine the state and city together. In this table, I want to combine state and city together in a table. And I'm going to create another link table. That link table will have the combination of, or the concatenated value of state and city in it. That state and city in that table should be unique. Okay, I will show you that one also. This is scenario 3. In scenario 3, what I am going to do is 3 different scenarios, but don't get confused that in real time you have to use, you need to create 3 link tables. It is not required. I'm going to copy the sales one table again. Sorry, I'm going to right click on it and you have an option called duplicate. Simply click on it. Here I'm going to remove. Okay, I'm going to select only these two columns. Sorry. Remove other columns. And here what I do is I just go and remove duplicates in it. But if I remove duplicates, what will happen is, okay. So in this case, you need to create some custom column because I want to combine these two columns because I cannot remove duplicates. Let it be there. And here what I'm going to do is city and state. State, city. And here what I do is state. I just go and click on it. How do you combine the values from two columns? Ampersand. Remember this ampersand and ampersand, using which only you can combine the values in two columns. Look here, this is the one. So now I combine the values from these two columns. In a single column itself, I have the state name and then the city name is available. Okay. And I combine these two things. With the combination of these two also, I'm going to create a table. And if you see here, a new table by the name of bridge table 2 will get created. Using which also, and here I created a custom. See, in both the tables, in each table, sales one and city data also, you need to have the same column, custom. If you see the sales one here, here also I created an additional column. Sorry, I need to go here. And the sales column, if you see custom column, here also I combine both the city and sales. And similarly, in city data also, I created additional column. In this column, the state and city, I combine this one. With the combination of these two, we can see a unique value here. Even in this case, bridge table 2, we can see a unique value in state city as well as in salesman custom column and city data also custom column. So in that case, what we do is we can combine, we can create a relationship between these two tables as well as we can combine the relation, we can create a relation between these two tables. But here also we can see 1-to-1, right? So we can see 1-to-1. So this is my bridge table now. This is little bit difficult for non-programmers, non-IT background, but try to understand these three concepts very well. Remember it, okay? But now you tell me why there is a 1-to-1 relationship here and here. Because in the state city, we have unique values only. For example, in California, Los Angeles, right? So can you see a duplicate of this one here? No, right? We don't see one more record of CA Los Angeles. We don't see one more record of CA San Francisco. Okay, the combination of these two, it makes very well because you want both the state and city to be filtered. So in that kind of situation, you can use that one. Okay. So you create another matrix. I'm going to share this one to you all today. You try this one. So there are three scenarios. Scenario one, what I did, I have used the state column in both the tables. Say both the table, I cannot link it directly because the tables, the multiple rows, we can see multiple rows for a same state in both the tables. Hence, it has many-to-many relationship. So to overcome that, I introduce a link table, but the link table, I use a state column. Okay, but state column, I made sure that I don't have any duplicate records. I kept only the unique values here. And then when I created the relationship between these two tables, so what happened? It automatically put this one, right? So one star is many. So one star is in one-to-many relationship. So now with the help of link table, we can filter sales one as well as we can filter city data because here in the state column, you have unique values and here we have duplicate values. Okay, at least one table should have unique values. Other table can have duplicate values in the state. That is the rule. You need to remember it. So here one to many, here one to many. You cannot have many to many. If you have many to many, you cannot. It will not do the filtering correctly. Instead of using state, I'm used city. And instead of using state separately, city separately, I combined and state and city into a single column. With that, I created the relationship. Now the question to you all is, the next assignment is, for example, and the city also repeating it more than one time. Okay, for example, this is an aggregated value. Last 1 week, we have just did this summarization. So in the case of Los Angeles city, which is in California state, we could see only 4 people. We counted only 4 people. Okay, and this week we spent some more time, and we in the another county we did California and Los Angeles, the same place. We are able to count 10 more people. So if you have duplicate for both the columns, how will you find out? That is the assignment for you all. Okay. Okay. In that case, what you need to do is, you need to create a bridge table which will have the unique values of only C and Los Angeles, C and San Francisco. Okay. The combination of these two should have unique values. Got it? And then you need to do summarization. That's all. Let's say here 4. And again, you have one more record like CA Los Angeles. So 10 is there. So 10 plus 4, 14 it should display. And sales also, along with that, it should show the corresponding sales. You need to put one more record here. CA Los Angeles, internet. CA Los Angeles, instead of internet, you use store. Okay. Los Angeles also store is there. That store 40. And see, right? That's all. And with this combination of these two, you need to print the record something like this. Okay. And, the total sales in Los Angeles and total population in Los Angeles, California state, but only one record is enough. California record in the California state, in the Los Angeles, what is the total sales and what is the total population? Similarly, for all other things, you need to create some dummy data and do it. This you make it as a priority. Guys, don't postpone it and don't say, I don't know. In real-time scenario, you cannot say, I don't know. Fine. So we are done with the many-to-many relationship in detail. So now you understood what is many-to-many relationship, how in real-time scenario we need to implement it. With the help of bridge table only, we can implement the many-to-many relationship, and the bridge table should have unique values in it. Remember it. So why can't I filter the many-to-many table directly? Because both the tables, columns, you have duplicate values. For example, in the case of state column in sales one, state column in city data, both places I can see duplicate values. If you have duplicate values, you cannot filter it. So you need to have unique values in another table. So one to many is possible. Many to many is not possible when it comes to filtering. So, all right, now you are all set to move ahead with the next topic. What is the next topic? The next topic is, just give me a second here. I'm getting an office call. So 1 second. Yeah. So this is what we discussed. 1 second. Let me start recording it. Okay, so recording is going on good. And here we have discussed about different types of relationship. It is also relationships is also called as coordinative. If somebody use the term coordinative, they are referring to relationship. Please remember this. Next, we will take a look at active and inactive relationship. Okay, and what is active and inactive relationship? So if you can create at a time. Yeah, you can create at a time only one relationship between the tables. Okay, that is called your active relationship in Power BI. In Power BI, you can create only one active relationship between two tables. That is what is called as active relationship. See, there are two types of relationship. One is when it comes to Power BI. Okay, there are two types of relationship when it comes to Power BI. One is active relationship, other one is inactive relationship. Okay. Consider a case like this. Our sales data contains, we have two date fields, an order date and ship date. And while you can connect both of them, the date field in the calendar lookup table and only one can be active at a time. I'll just show you. If I tell you like this, you will be fainted. 1 second. Let me just open the other file. I just close this file. If you open multiple file, don't worry, I will share this one also. You can start work on it. These tables, I already loaded it. You know very well how to load a file, right? So you can go to get data, and these files are XLS files. Okay, I loaded it here. And okay, if you want to see the path of these files, transform data, click on data source settings. With this, you should be able to understand the dim category table got created from this file, XLS file, and this file is available under this folder. Okay, fine. So now we have category, product, and daily sales. And I just rename this as fact sales because in the real-time scenario, you need to use the proper naming convention. This is the fact table. Fact table will have the transaction data. And okay, fact sales already, okay, sales fact already loaded it. Okay, good. And it is available, category and product. Look here. And sales fact, I can see some columns are there, meaning less column. I just go and remove these columns. Unnecessary columns, you can remove it. But before you remove it, you need to think twice. What you are going to do is correct or not. You need to validate correctly. Blindly don't delete the columns. Look here and here. Okay, where is that? I was seeing some column 1 and all there. Was that in from this file or somewhere else? Oh, this is the one. Okay, and column 1, 12. These three columns are not required. I'm going to remove it. So sales fact. Remember the table name is sales fact. Okay, and here I just go and check the other columns. Order date is in the date format only. Good. I just close and apply it. I simply went and removed 3 columns which were not at all useful. You could see some blank values and all. I just removed it. This table name is sales fact. and the dim product and category. Okay, and forget about other tables now. And I'm going to create a table by the name of calendar. Yeah, because calendar is very much important. So I'm going to create a new table. Look here, I just went to this data view and clicked on the new table. And here I just say something like calendar. I just give some calendar or date table. We need to have a date table also if you want to perform any kind of time intelligence related function. Okay, and here order date. So minimum of order date and maximum of order date. So what is this max and minimum here? If I take the maximum of the order date, it will give me the most recent order, recently raised order. And this is the least recently, the first order raised by the customer. And currently what the most recent order, right? So that date it will pick up. And if I press enter, what will happen is the calendar function will generate the dates starting from this date. See, 9/1/2013. See, in this data set, what happened? The first order, we received it on 9/1/2013. And the last one is, you can find it at the end of it. For example, if you scroll down, it will take a lot of time. Okay, so 31/12. This is the recent order we received it. And the first order is this one. This is the last order. Okay. So what is the advantage of using min and maximum? For example, if you are going to load another 5 months data in the existing file, what will happen is automatically generates the date table with this, and because you have used max here, right? So let's say after 1 month, if you are trying to load one more month data here or 6 more month data in this thing, what will happen is, since you are using max, so that time whatever the recent order date, that one will be captured and this table will get recreated. One of the important thing that you need to remember is the calendar table or date table. It should have the value sequentially. There should not be any gap in between it. And also it should not have any missing values. It should not have any duplicate values. These are the 3 rules you need to remember it. It should not have, it should not have any duplicate values. It should not have any missing values. And it should store the value sequentially, starting from this, in this case, first order we received on so and so date, that date to till the maximum date, the values in between, the dates in between them should get generated. So whether you have sales or not in between, but this table should have values sequentially till the last date. Got it? And the next one is, I'm going to create another column called year column. So how do I create a column here? In the data view itself, we can create a column. Okay. Click on new column here. Okay. I click on new column. I wanted to extract only the year and store it in a separate column called year. See, I created a new column. Here I just say year and I'm going to say year function. And here calendar date. What is this? This is the name. So in the calendar table, look here, we have created a new table called calendar. In the calendar table, we have a column called date. So here I'm going to pass this as an argument. So what it will do is, this year function will extract only the year from the calendar date table in this column, and then it will have hold only the year in it. Got it? So that is the whole. Similarly, I want to extract month. How do I do that? Can you all please type it in the chat now so that I can make sure that you're all staying awake? So month is equivalent to month of calendar date. Okay, month alone I extracted it. Okay, and similarly, I want to create another column, quarter. You can extract only the quarter from this. So look here, quarter. And 31/12, December month is the fourth quarter, right? So it is doing the perfect job. It extracted the quarter. And next, I'm going to prove month prefix, something like that. Here I'm going to say format. We have a function called format and calendar date, calendar date. And here I'm going to say yum. This one will give me the month in prefix, month in Jan, Feb, something like that. Yes, it's doing December, right? So if you see here, you can see all the months are there. Okay, and good. So this is enough at this moment. So we are able to create a table successfully by the name of calendar. Okay, now what I do is I just go back here. Now we are going to take a look at the active and inactive relationship. See here, I have created a calendar table, right? So the calendar table, I just went to the model tab. Okay, I just drag and drop this. I need to create the relationship, right? If you don't create the relationship and if you keep the tables without having any link, then it will not do the filtering. Remember that. So here, I just click on the order date and I just expand this one properties. And if I scroll down, 14 March in this format, it is there. I just go and check this column also. It is little bit different. So make sure that, both of them are in this similar format. Okay. The date. So here date column and the order date, I'm going to link it together. I just collapse it because I want to save some space. And here the calendar also I'm going to collapse it. Let's say my manager is very particular about this reporting requirement. And he wants to create a report something like this. For example, you want to see the date we have. You want to see the quarter by sales by quarter. Sales amount, we have it here. I just drag and drop it. Okay, we don't see some dates are missing here. Instead, I'll put month here. Even month also, it is not doing good job. This is not having the proper data there. Let me just check if I use some other table. Yeah, ship date is there. Okay. So what I do is at this moment, we will ignore this one. We have sales W004. Look here. So I'm going to create the relationship date and date column. Forget about all the other tables which we loaded it. So you just focus on only these two tables now. Okay. So that I can help you understand what is the difference between active and inactive relationship. And if you keep the cursor here on the right side in the calendar table, I've used the date column. On the left side in the sales W04 table, I have used the order date column. Fine. So what I do is, yes, here I have used the date column from the calendar table, month, year, quarter, and then sales amount. I can see this one. So this sales amount comes from the sales fact, which is wrong. Actually, we have linked only sales W04 and that one. And I'm going to pull this sales and I'll put it here. And here I just remove the month at this moment and I just go and see in the, sorry, in the sales, I just, yeah, sum. See, if you click here, you can see in the sales, we are getting the summarized value for each quarter. So what is this? Sales by order date. My manager wants to the sales by order date because I have created the relationship between date and order date. Okay. And here, this column comes from date table, calendar table, and this one comes from sales underscore W04. So here, the date column from the calendar table and the order date from the sales table got linked. Okay. Hence, we can see the sales by order date here. What if your manager is asking you a report wherein I want to see the sales by shipped date? Sales by shipped date. What do you mean? What is the difference between sales by order date and sales by shipped date? What does that? Order date, let's say you ordered a product yesterday and you have made the payment yesterday itself using your credit card. In that case, the order date and payment date, both of them are same, right? Let's say, I have ordered a product yesterday, but cash on delivery. Only when I receive it, I will make the payment. Shipped date. On the shipped date only, I am going to receive the payment. So that is what, say this is okay, order date itself, whosoever made payment, how much sales we know, we made it in each quarter, how much money we collected. And those people made the payment on shipped date. I wanted to see that breakdown. So in that case, you cannot use the same thing. In that case, you need to create the relationship between this column and ship date. You need to notice very carefully here one thing. Look here. I created the relationship between the date column in my calendar table to the ship date in my sales W04 table. But the relationship got created, but I could see a dashed line here, dashed line. So this is a solid line, but this is a dashed line here. Both of them are one to many, fine. But why it is a dashed line? This is called your inactive relationship. This is called your active relationship. This is called, sorry, this is, one second, sorry. So this is called your active relationship, the solid line. Dashed line is called your inactive relationship. So what does that mean, active and inactive relationship? The active relationship propagate the filters to other tables. Whereas in the case of inactive relationship, it only propagate the filters when a DAX expression activates the relationship. In simple term, active relationship propagate filters to other tables. Whereas the inactive relationship, it doesn't propagate the filters. It requires a special treatment. Okay. So in the case of inactive relationship, it doesn't fast filtering. It doesn't do anything by itself. Yes, the inactive relationship needs a special treatment to work. Let's see how this can work. Okay, and I'll explain two treatments for inactive relationship. One is called role-playing dimension, and other one is using a DAX function called use relationship method. Okay, please concentrate, don't get diverted. If anybody calls, you tell them you're busy. Okay, so now I told you this is active relationship, this is inactive relationship. Only the active relationship pass the filter from here to here. Whereas this one is not going to pass the filter, but it requires special treatment using which you can temporarily enable the inactive relationship as an active relationship. Okay, that's all. Okay, temporarily you can enable it. So now we will see how do we do that. So why, so see in real life scenario, we cannot, in real life scenario, we will have to create more than one relationship between the tables. Okay, we cannot say at a time we can create only one relationship, right? That will not work. See, in this case, The requirement is tell me the sales by order date, and I want to see the, and also another requirement is tell me the sales by order date. In order to, sorry, ship date. In order to say the sales by shipped date, you need to have another relationship, because this date column will filter the order date column only. But whereas I need the date column to filter ship date also, only then I will get to know what is the total sales by shipped date. Got it? So look here. So I here, in this case, what I'm going to, I'm create a DAX function. I can just go to the modeling tab. So you have different way of creating the measure. At this moment, you just think, in the modeling tab or ribbon, when you click on it, you will have new measure. I just created it here. So sales by shipped date. We have a function called calculate. Don't worry, I will be explaining all these things later point in time. It is too early to learn many things. At this moment, you try to understand what is the active and inactive relationship. Okay. And here we have something called use relationship function. This is called a DAX function. The calculate is also a DAX function. Use relationship is also a DAX function. You can call use relationship function inside calculate. You cannot call it directly. You cannot use it directly. Okay. Here column 1 is what is that? My the sales underscore W04 shipped date. Ship date, comma, calendar date, comma, both. You need to create, you need to use both. No, not both here. Yeah, only these two things you need to specify here. Active. So both is for cross filter function. Okay, fine. So we have done this, and I need to put one more parenthesis. Most of them, they make the mistake here. They put only one parenthesis instead of putting two parentheses. But when you, to make sure that your code is correctly, you have typed everything correctly, right? So you just click at the end of this closed parenthesis, automatically it will highlight the corresponding open parenthesis. That means it is correct. And if you click here, look here, if you click here, this closed parenthesis related to this thing. So use relationship is a function. Hence, you need to use the open parenthesis. The first argument is the date column here in this case. Okay, column 1, column 2. This ship date I'm using it from sales W04, and this date I'm using. You remember we created inactive relationship, right? The calendar table date column and ship date. When we link the relationship, it was in a dashed line. It was a inactive relationship. So what I am doing is using this relationship function. Hey, enable this inactive relationship active till you compute this total for this filtering. Okay, I just press enter. My column name is sales by shipped date. My measure name is sales by shipped date now. Okay, I'm done with this. We don't see any error. It got executed. Once you write your script here, click on the this tick mark. If you have any error, it will show the error. In my case, I don't have any error. So now what I do is I just remove the sales. Instead, I just select sales by shipped date. I just drag and drop this here. And it is not showing correctly, right? So 1 second, let me just, even if you are going to use an inactive relationship, right? You need to create the relationship between the tables. So here the sales date, let me just recheck. Ship date and date, yes, correct only. And here the quarter is not showing any value. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring some other value here, month. It is not doing the filtering correctly. See, the total value is same here, but it is doing something wrong here. One second, let me just go and sales by shipped date. Sales W04, ship date and calendar date. I have used it. Let us go and see the calendar table, this date and ship date. Let me just go and click on this date. I think some formatting problem. Look here and see, look here, the ship date is a date text data type. There is a data problem here. Actually, it's supposed to be date data type, isn't it? So now I caught the problem, why it is not doing the filtering like this correctly here. I just go to transform data. This is how you should be. Okay, you should be able to find out the issues, and you should be in a position to fix all the issues in a matter of second. It will happen by practice. Ship date and replace values. I'm going to replace all the hyphen by the same way how I did it, right? So all the hyphen by this slash, and I just click on it. Okay. That's why it is very much important. Everyday session or whatever the session I cover it, you need to practice it very next day. Okay, and I just go and say using local. In real time, you will end up like this. You're not supposed to get stuck up. See, now I'm an experienced person. I'm able to find out where the problem, immediately I'm able to fix it. Okay, and apply changes. It will take, see, still it is not doing it because the changes, whatever I did it, right? I converted the text data type into date data type. Now it's perfect. See here. And can you see both the value are same here? No, right? Here the values are different. Here the values are different. You got it? So we have some blank values are there. Ignore about it. So 44 likes. Here also the blank value is there. And what I do is I just convert this a table format to compare easily both. Okay. And here I just remove the month. If you see here, this is my sales by shipped date. This is sales by order date. In quarter one, we received 10,60,000. Whereas in quarter one, we received 10,93,000. Okay. And here 15,79,000, but 15,31,000 only. In 18,97,000, 19,09,000. There is a difference, obviously, because you received the money for some orders on the shipped date only. But in this case, you received the money on this order date itself, right? But the total sales for all the 4 quarters put together matches. End of the day, you received the money. Okay, for all the orders you received the money. That's why it shows the total sales same, but quarter on quarter we can see the difference. So in this case, what we did, we used a different approach. So here, so in this case, this is from calendar table, and this is my sales fact, sales W04 table. But what is the column that we used to link it? Calendar date, and here we have used order date. Please remember this, guys. No one will explain you in real-time project like this. Okay, order date. So this is your calendar. This is coming from your calendar, right? So calendar table, and this one is coming from the common shipped date. We have linked the shipped date with the calendar table date. The table date. Okay. Here also the calendar table date only, but this date and order date got linked, but here the order date and shipped date. So these two got linked, but it was having a dashed line. We found a dashed line between these two columns in the model view. It was inactive relationship. As I told you, by default, active relation propagates the filter to other tables, whereas the inactive relationship doesn't pass the filtering. Hence, we need to Hence, it requires a special treatment. The one approach is I created a measure, DAX measure. In this DAX measure, we can see that use relationship, I have used it, and temporarily I enable the inactive relation to active. And with this, I'm able to do the calculation here. Okay. So got it. So now you understood how to enable the inactive relationship active using the DAX command use relationship. There is another approach that also I will show you now itself. Look here, I just go here and okay, I just go here and let me see if I can. Okay, I just go here and I will create another table, new table. So there is a function called all using which you can create a duplicate of the table. Okay, simply one command, all function, using which you can copy all the content of your calendar to another table. So I call this as sales shipped date, something like that. Okay, some meaningful name I have to give. I just gave it. So now we are going to use a second approach to find out the sales by shipped date. One approach is using a DAX function, we are able to find out. Okay. The other approach is called your role playing dimension. What do you mean by role playing dimension? Where is that table shipped date, right? So the shipped calendar. So in role playing dimension, I simply copy pasted the same table calendar one more time. And here what I do is I just remove the relationship. Instead of having active and inactive relationship, what I do is, so the relationship between these two tables are between date and order date. Order date. And what is the relation between this and this? The this date and shipped date. Instead of using one active and another inactive relationship, I'm going to create another table. So with this table, one second, let me just do one thing, date and shipped date. There is some formatting problem. Again, you go back here and see this date is in which format. You click on here in the properties, you just scroll down and you can see the shipped calendar. Okay, here general date it shows, it's make it is a long date. And because in the ship date here, it is a long date format. The format should also match, otherwise it will cause some confusion. Date and ship date. It is not many to many, one to many, right? Oh, okay. Here something problem happened. See what I do is, right, I have another table. I will just use that one here, okay. And here it is causing some problem. Duplicate dates are coming here. because you are using this date with this date, right? Some problems are happening. Let me do one thing. I just go to this one and let me fix it quickly. Somewhere I made a mistake. Look here what I did. From this date column, I just linked with ship date column. Okay. Now it's working fine because mistakenly I created a link with other column. So now if you go and verify it in the manage relationship, we can find it here. So we can see that the shipped calendar date, right? So W ship date and this date got linked in this calendar table. And this, yeah. And 1 second, I need to create the relationship similarly with between the date and order date from this to this. Just give me a second. It's not moving up. Yeah. Okay, now it's perfect. Date and order date got linked, and here and this one got linked. Okay, and why it shows some other thing here? Because of duplicating date and everything. Okay, this field or table is visible in report view. Select to hide it. Okay, let it be there. I'm not going to make any changes. Let it be there. Fine. So now what I am going to do is, here I don't need a DAX function. Why? Because I have linked these two tables directly. It's an active relationship. There is an active relationship exists between these two tables. There is an active relationship exists between these two tables. There is no inactive relationship. Here, what I am going to do is here in the not the sales fact, here the shipped date is there, right? So 1 second, it is taking a lot of time. Where is the sales W04? The other calendar is not visible here, right? Okay, and this calendar, and what about the other calendar? Ship calendar. Okay, there is a problem happen here. Column in table and blank values, and this is not allowed for. Okay, so let me just go and select this calendar column. It is there, and when I click on shipped calendar, let me do one thing. I just calendar all function here, calendar date. Or let me do one thing. I'll just simply use a calendar, and here I just select min of order date, comma max of. Instead of duplicating it, I just create it one more time. Cannot convert value critical of type text to date type. I changed it to, or sorry, not order period, order date here, order date. That's all. We'll create one more column. That is enough to give you the demo. And I'm going to say QTR, because if you compare the quarter alone, it shows the difference. QTR is equivalent to quarter of calendar date. This is the date, right? So I just duplicated the same data here. Okay, fine. And date and date. Yes, now we don't see any that error message, nothing. Everything is fine. I just go back here and I just select this one. But I don't know why the calendar show. Okay, maybe by hiding all the things. Okay. And here says W04 and where is this order date, shipped date. It is visible here, but it is not visible there. Shipped calendar. Can you see shipped calendar here? It is not there. 1 second, order date. Okay, what I will do is, it is already 10:30. We will continue the session day after tomorrow because others are not available tomorrow. And day after tomorrow we'll continue. That day I will show you the role-playing dimension. It is doing correct job here. Only thing is the shipped calendar is not visible there. It was hidden there. 1 second, let me just. Yeah, calendar says by shipped date. That is fine, but shipped calendar is not visible there. And here it is not getting. Okay, I will show you this day after tomorrow. But in the meanwhile, you complete the assignment which I discussed it as part of the many-to-many relationship. I will share the report file once again. You give it a try. And I gave you the solution for the problem which I shared it with you previously. Okay. And you have the solution now, but try to understand that how I did this. Okay. Fine, guys. We'll circle back. And only this one. The only thing is, right, the shipped calendar date, I'll have to store it in a file separately and then I will load it. It will work. Okay. That I will show you the demo on the upcoming. Today is what day? Today is Tuesday, right? And what I will do is today is Tuesday. When it's Thursday, I will show you the demo. Okay. And if possible, Thursday and Friday, we will continue the session. We'll try to speed it up. All right. Fine, guys. Thanks for all your patience. Any questions? Okay, since you don't have any questions, I'm going to wrap up the session. Now we'll share the